Welcome to our video channel. Don't forget to subscribe for more great railway videos.
Welcome to my channel, Bagus Widianto channel. This is one of my English language presentations in my video channel. Today I would like to discuss about some of my miniature locomotives collection. I would like to review two of my locomotives which I bought from Auscision in Australia. The first one is EL51 locomotive in Australian National Railway color. This locomotive is modeled after a class of streamlined diesel locomotives made by Goninan, now United Goninan, in 1990 for Australian National Railway. The streamlined design was made with speed in mind, as the locomotive was built to negotiate the longest stretch of straight railway line in the world at Nullarbor Plain. In fact, when brand new, the EL class locomotives were often used to haul high-speed passenger and freight trains across the previously mentioned railway line. The HO scale model of this loco is among the first products made by Auscision shortly after they started their business in 2006. It was released on the market in 1st July 2008 and came with variety of liveries including the Australian National and CFCLA. Honestly, I didn't actually purchase the model of this EL locomotive. I was given one as my 30th birthday gift back then. It was a dream come true as I had previously wanted to buy the model for long. Actually, before Auscision produced the model of EL class locos, there was another manufacturer who also made the model, also in HO scale and runs on DC current track. The company name was Lloyd's Model. However, unlike Auscision, the EL class model made by Lloyd's was sold as a kit. That means customers must assemble the locomotive first before they can run it on tracks. It wasn't really popular as the cost of the kit itself was around the same price as other manufacturers' ready-to-run models. Lloyd's Model themselves did offer a kit assembly service, but the fully assembled model would have cost almost twice the price of an assembled one. So, being able to get the model of ready-to-run EL class locomotive and even for free is a blessing. When I first received my model in the middle of 2008, it initially came without DCC. I only began to install it a few months later so I could run it on my friend's layout, which had digital controller. Here we can see the video that I recorded back in 2009 when I ran my EL51 locomotive on my friend's layout in Bandung.
Tanjak loh itu berat. Udah kecilin. After more than a decade of owning the model, in 2021,
I decide to equip my EL51 loco with a DCC sound. Installing the equipment might be difficult, but that's not the biggest challenge that I face. Finding the right sound file proves to be the biggest hurdle to make my EL locomotive sounds as realistic as possible. The real EL class locomotives are powered by GE 7FDL12 engine. Although there are plenty of sound files in ESU database that were recorded from locomotives with similar engine, they sound completely different due to several reasons. The most common one is the fact that many in ESU database were recorded from elderly American locomotives which made coarser sound than EL class locomotives. Another problem is American locomotives will make bell sounds after the horn were sounded. EL class locomotives doesn't have bell. And finally, many of them aren't equipped with electronically powered brake compressor, which is featured in EL class locomotives. However, after some browsing, I finally found a breakthrough. I decided to install the sound file of European Blue Tiger locomotive. The Blue Tiger share many similarities with EL class locomotives. Both classes are powered by GE 7FDL12 engine, equipped with electrically powered brake compressor, and neither classes have bells. Although I did try to transplant the correct horn sound from one Australian locomotive file, apparently I picked the wrong one, which is why I didn't sound the horn during the recording. Another problem is I'm using tiny iPhone 5 speaker for my model, which made faint and hissing sounds. Although many Australian modelers recommend me to use more superior speakers, in Indonesia I don't have much choice. Importing speakers from overseas is costly. How does my locomotive sounds when compared to real thing? Here is a video recorded by Greensleeves 94 for comparison. The next locomotive that I would like to discuss is my FIA 001 locomotive. When the actual locomotive was introduced in 2014, I instantly fell in love with it. Its attractive blue, red, and white livery is truly eye-catching. Upon looking at its stunning appearance, I began to think, when will I be able to own its model? The answer of that question came in late 2016 when Auscision introduced the model of GE C44 ACI locomotives. Although FIA locomotive is a member of GE C44 ACI family, I was initially disappointed that Auscision at first didn't include this variation. However, in late January 2017, I came across a sudden announcement by Auscision that they are releasing the model of FIA class locomotives. I was instantly overjoyed by the news and quickly made an arrangement to purchase it without any regard of my austere financial conditions. Despite of the adversities and long wait, the model finally arrived in late February 2017. Paying the duty tax was straightforward, without any dramas or unwanted additional fees, and before long, I finally able to get my hands on my brand new FIA 001 locomotive model. I was so amazed by the beauty of this locomotive. It truly represents the real thing and act as some kind of consolations for my inability to see the actual loco in Australia. Just like most of my previous locomotive models, it was initially an analog model, but I later added a DCC chip and then converting to DCC sound in 2021. Inserting the hardware was pretty straightforward, but at first, finding the right sound file for it was tricky. Although there are plenty of sound files recorded from locomotives with similar specification as C44, where they feature GE7FDL 16 engine and electrical brake compressor, there is one significant difference that sets this Australian locomotive apart. The FIA class loco, just like the rest of GE C44 ACIs, are equipped with Nathan Airchime K5UL-AU-LS horn. This Australian spec horn is unique as it makes a combination of tenor, baritone, and bass sound in a single blow. But thanks to the help of one of my friends who is expert in ESU DCC programming, he finally able to transplant this uniquely Australian horn sound into the sound file of American GE AC 4400 locomotive. The end result of his work can be seen in the following videos. Although generally satisfactory, unfortunately there was one nuisance that made the installation nowhere near perfect. Our effort to silence the bell resulting in a small popping sound whenever we sounded the horn. If that wasn't enough, if I pressed the horn over prolonged period, the horn sound would revert back to the original American horn midway through. But thankfully, the matter was eventually resolved when Auscision released the sound file of NR Locomotive on ESU Log Sound database, which features the option for K5UL AULS horn sound. After updating my FIA locomotive with the proper sound file, I'm finally able to settle down and enjoy my locomotive running and sounded like real thing. For comparison, Here you can see the video of real FIA locomotives at work. Many thanks to all of you who have seen and enjoyed the video right up till the end. Don't forget to subscribe my channel to get the update on the upcoming videos in the future.